Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. And the question for today is, why do fruit plants need to be propagated vegetatively? And in the second part of the question we have to discuss, explain the advantages and disadvantages of sexual and asexual and sexual propagation. So this was the question, and this question was asked in this year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services examination, that is in 2025. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So when you see the question, actually we can divide the question in three parts. The first part is why fruit plants need to be propagated vegetatively. Second part is the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. And then third part would be the advantages and disadvantages of sexual reproduction. So let's start. So in introduction part, you can simply define what vegetative propagation is. So, or you can simply mention that yes, many fruit plants are propagated vegetatively. Okay, because the no, don't start like this. Generally, start by defining vegetative propagation only. Okay, vegetative propagation. There, that would be best start to directly start from defining vegetative propagation. So what is vegetative propagation? When the plants are kind of propagated asexually. When plants are propagated asexually instead of by seeds, instead of sexual reproduction, that is seeds, that is through seeds. So how plants are produced vegetatively? They are produced vegetatively through cuttings, through grafting, through layering. So all these are the methods of vegetative propagation. Budding, where instead of seeds, we propagate plants from various other parts, such as it could be leaves, it could be stems, it could be roots, it could be branches, any other part. Okay, instead of seeds, that is sexual reproduction. So this is what vegetative propagation is, when plants are propagated asexually, and these are the methods: budding, cutting, grafting, layering. These are the methods. Now let's move to the body, that is why fruit plants need to be propagated vegetatively. Why regions? Why fruit plants need to be propagated vegetatively? First reason could be yes, that we need to maintain the genetic purity, to maintain genetic purity, because in vegetative propagation we get true to type plants, clones, true to type plants, whereas in sexual reproduction there are genetic variations, but in asexual reproduction, that is in vegetative propagation, we have genetic purity. Secondly, when we produce through vegetative propagation, the juvenile phase becomes shorter juvenile phase, that is the fruit plants will be able to flower and bear fruits in very short time. Okay, they will able to bear fruits early. Suppose we are producing some plant with seeds and it is taking 10 years to bear fruit. Vegetatively produced plants can bear fruit in just 5 years, very less time when compared to sexually produced plant. So shorter juvenile phase is there. Again, through this we can propagate seedless varieties can be propagated. Okay, can be propagated. So there are very seedless varieties. For example, banana is there, pineapple is there, seedless grapes is there, seedless citrus varieties are there. So when they are not producing seed, how can you propagate them using seed? So in seedless varieties, these vegetative methods such as cutting, grafting, okay, air layering, all these things can be used. So propagation of seedless varieties. Secondly, it also provides uniformity in crops. Okay, all the fruit crops will be similar age. Their growth would be similar. The fruit bearing capacity will be similar. So this is another advantage. Okay, so here we can also combine desirable traits. For example, grafting, combination of, here we can combine desirable traits. For example, we have grafting. So in grafting, we can combine two plants. Okay, suppose one plant is having good stability and one plant is good at yield. So we can combine both of them. So this can be done. We can also preserve mutations or hybrids. Okay, preservation of mutation and hybrids through this method. Okay, suppose we have generated a hybrid variety. So when you do sexual reproduction, there will be variation in this hybrid variety, but through vegetative propagation, we can preserve these varieties for longer time. The characters, the hybrid characters would be preserved. So these are the 5-6 reasons why fruit trees needs to be vegetatively propagated. Now let's move to the second part of the question, that is advantage and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Advantage. First of all, we are dealing with asexual reproduction here. Asexual reproduction. So first of all, we will see the advantages of asexual reproduction. So advantages would be similar to this only. These are the advantages of asexual reproduction only. So this you can mention here. Okay, such as true to type progeny. We will get true to type progeny. Asexual reproduction, that is vegetative reproduction, is a type of asexual only. Okay, here we will get early maturity and fruiting, early maturity and early fruit bearing. Okay, we will get uniformity. We can propagate seedless varieties, propagation of seedless varieties. Grafting, that is combination of, through grafting we can combine various traits. It will preserve superior genotypes, such as which we get through hybrid, for example hybridization. So these are the advantages which are similar only, same only. In disadvantages you can mention, yes, it will lack genetic variations, lack genetic variation, which becomes a hindrance to improvement. Sometimes genetic variations not only degrade but they also improve the plants. So it lacks genetic variation. These are disadvantages. So which acts as an hindrance to improvement. It could be susceptible to diseases because same type of plants, uniform plants. So if one disease affects one, all the plants will be very much susceptible to it. Okay, the adaptability will be less because there is low variations, so adaptability will be very less. Okay, lifespan and vigor may decline over successive generation. The lifespan and vigor can decline over successive generation due to natural mutations, mechanical mixtures, all these things. Okay, it can also require sometimes high labor, high capital, high knowledge. For example, grafting needs labor. We need knowledge how to graft. Okay, and it is not feasible for all the species. Okay, in some species asexual reproduction is not as productive. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Now we will see sexual reproduction. Okay, so first of all we can see the advantages of sexual reproduction. Yes, it is cheaper, simpler and cheaper method. We have to just grow the seed. Simpler and cheaper method. Secondly, we can produce genetically viable plants. Okay, we can produce genetically viable plants. That is, the scope of genetic improvement is more here through breeding and improvement. Through breeding and improvement, the chances of adaptability will be more. The adaptability will be more. The lifespan will be more. And there will be less risk of transmitting systemic diseases. Okay, because these plants will tolerate, they have variation in them, so spread of diseases will be less as compared to asexual reproduction. So these are the advantages. Now we will see disadvantages. Disadvantages of sexual reproduction. First of all, obviously plants are not true to type. Not true to type. There are genetic variations in sexual reproduction. Next, the juvenile period will be long juvenile period. That is, the plant will take a lot of time to bear fruits. For example, it can take 10 years to bear fruits for in fruit crops. Okay, there would be problem of seed dormancy, sort of ability. seed could become dormant, seed dormancy. The viability of seed could be less because we are dependent on seed. Seed viability will be less. It is not applicable for seedless or sterile varieties. There are various varieties which are seedless. There are various varieties which are sterile. So it is not properly applicable there. So I think these are the advantages and disadvantages of sexual reproduction. If you write these 4 5 advantages, disadvantages, you to be enough. So this what I think we covered all the parts of the question. And kind of in conclusion, you can mention that yes, the vegetative propagation is essential for fruit crops like mango, banana, guava, grapes to preserve desirable traits, to ensure uniformity, to get high yield. But there are certain crops which grow nicely in sexual propagation also. So identification of the traits and identifying as a farmer which reproduction will be good in which crop is very important. So this is how you can conclude. So I hope you understand all the parts of the question. You understand why fruit plants need to be propagated vegetatively, and we understand the advantages and disadvantages of sexual and asexual reproduction. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button. Please do share and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on a regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.